I'm like, that's a former athlete. That could have been me. And if I'm given to that, then I'm ruining society, even though I may just be watching, quote unquote. Again, we're football guys. We used to have this shit playing in the locker room. We did not think it was a bad thing at all. So I mean, when someone tried to tell me that porn was a bad thing, I'm like, I'm celibate, but still, come on, give me something, though. Like, it's not that, but I officially stopped doing it, and the weights lifted off, and I tell people all the time, it just isn't worth it. So, kind of walk us through some of the moments, or I guess the weeks leading up to your breakthrough, and how you were able to, and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, absolutely. So from the nihilism, right, I needed to find the reason why behind what I was noticing, which is strong people preying on weak, and why I thought so strongly that that's immoral. Because if there is no value, if there's no meaning, if there's no purpose, then I shouldn't feel these feelings, right? And so I just thought, I need to, I just tried to ignore it, couldn't ignore it. And so I'm like, okay, well, I'm going to jump in to figure out the reason why. And I was like, but I'm not going to go Christian, because, I started in a charismatic church and then ended up Roman Catholic, kind of a weird childhood, totally two ends of the spectrum, whatever.
Oh,
but I was like, nah.
We're talking religion here, the rules and religion. That's another thing we kind of touched on with, I mean, we'll be on here for another couple hours. It's a relationship with God, folks. Prayer is a conversation with God.
That's
the
right.
Religion and the rules, they're there as guardrails. So they start creating excuses to judge people and things like that. You might bring Pastor Aswan might come out on you real quick.
That's right. Well, and so I jumped into all these like Hinduism and Buddhism and so every religion that I would go into, I would get the book, I would get a like a spiritual mentor or a guru or whatever. And then I would go to their ashrams if they had it, and I would practice whatever they told me to practice. So like self-realization fellowship, I was meditating 2 to 4 hours every single day, read Bhagavad Gita, read autobiography of a yogi, got a spiritual mentor, went to all their ashrams, right? All this stuff. But all of them, they were always like a few questions away from just logical absurdity. Like, well, that doesn't make sense. And so I was like, okay, last ditch effort, I'm going to try Christianity. And I'm going to do it the same way. I read the Bible cover to cover. I joined a men's group. I got a pastor who was my mentor, walking me through, asking me. This man was incredible, Ian Stevenson, just asking the best questions and making me spin for days, right, on these questions. And then I went to church every single Sunday. So it's like, that's what I did. And I did it for like a year and a half.